Can't focus on me. Baby, can you focus on me?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl JJ and I am back with another video. So y'all, I'm coming at y'all with another story time, but before we get into the story time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, so yeah, y'all, we're gonna jump right into the story. I don't know what I'm gonna title it though. Okay, so y'all, this story takes place after me and Psycho kind of had broke up, and I was kind of just not feeling him no more, didn't want to deal with the situation no more, and I kind of just wanted to just move on from it. So y'all, it's a boy that I had gave my number to like some months ago, but we would just like text, and that was pretty much it. We kind of would talk on the phone a little bit, but it really wasn't really nothing like that. And in this story time, we're gonna call him Tyre. So yeah, me and Tyre would just talk, text, and we never really took it nowhere like that. But when he would flash his money on Instagram, and that's kind of what was like the red flag when it came down to certain dudes. Like, I felt like if a dude was on Instagram flashing their money in cars and all clothes and all that type of stuff, I kind of like steer back from them type, because of course I was following the stereotype, and I kind of just feel like they probably got so many different girls. Don't even waste your time. So I really didn't take him serious like that, and that was pretty much that. So one day Tyre hit me up, and he was just like, when you gonna let me take you out? I had posted a cute picture on Instagram too, so that's probably why he even hit me up, because I had posted a cute picture and he had liked it. So yeah, y'all, he basically was asking me when he take me out, and in the back of my mind, I kind of didn't want to go, but then I'm like, you know what? Let's just go. So he hit me up on kind of like, I want to say it was a Wednesday, and he basically was asking me when, and I told him like, okay, like the weekend would be cool, like probably on Friday. So he was like, all right, Friday, it's the date. So y'all, I'm telling my sister like, girl, Tyre want to take me out. He said he want to take me out on like Friday. And so my sister was just like, girl, go. Like, what's stopping you? So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me look through my clothes and see what I'm going to wear, because I used to have clothes that I never even had wore before. And I was like, it's pointless for me to try to go out and go buy something when I know I got a closet full of stuff. And I already knew what heels I was going to wear, because I had my comfortable heels that I used to just, them was like my go-to heels, I swear. So I'm looking through my clothes. I'm steady just talking on the phone with my sister. We talking about all type of stuff, and I'm looking for clothes. I ended up finding like this black little cat suit that I used to love. Like, it was a bodysuit, not a cat suit. It was a bodysuit. So I'm like, oh, this gonna be bomb, because it's cute and it fit my body just right on my curves. Like, this gonna be the one. Like, when he see me in this, he gonna be like, damn. Okay, so yo, I pulled my little cat suit. I mean, why do I keep calling it a cat suit? I pulled my little bodysuit out, and I was just like, oh yes, like, So I'm telling my sister like, girl, I'm gonna wear the little bodysuit. I'm gonna wear that one. So she was like, oh yeah, girl, that's gonna be cute. So me and Tyre was still kind of stilly, like texting throughout the days, like all the way up until Friday. So then we're gonna jump to the day he was taking me out. So that morning come, and he was just like, good morning, what time can I come get you? And I basically just told him like, maybe like around like 8. Like 8 is cool. It's not too late, and it's, you know, like it's a cool time. So he was like, all right, send me your address. So I sent him my address, and what's so crazy, y'all, what's so crazy is he followed like one of my cousins. So I'm like, oh, he must know my cousin. So that's another reason why I didn't trip off giving him my address either. Like, I really didn't trip off that, because I'm the baby and my cousins don't play on me. So I already knew, baby, you pulling up to the hood. Play with me if you want to. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, I have no problem with that. So I'm like nervous, y'all, because I would get so nervous when it came down to me going to go meet somebody in person, because I don't know what it was, y'all. Like, I don't know what it is about me meeting somebody, and I just get so nervous, like butterflies, just everything. Like, I get that, I forgot what it's called, but I get that, like, I don't know, I get so nervous to where I'll be like, you know what, I'm not gonna go nowhere, I'm gonna just cancel. But my sister be like, girl, no, just go. Like, stop doing that, like, just go. So I'm like, okay, let me just calm down, I'm just gonna go. So I'm getting ready. My little cousins came over. They was down the street. They ended up coming over, and they just like chilling with me while I'm getting ready, asking me where I'm going. You know how it is when you got your little cousins and they just watching you, asking you questions and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going on a date. And they're like, oh, you're going on a date? I'm like, yeah. So I'm doing my makeup, y'all, fixing my hair, doing all my little things. I threw my little bodysuit on, my heels. Like, I was ready to go. So I ended up texting him, and I was like, I'm ready. You know, like, you can come whenever. So he was just like, all right, I'm going to be on my way. So I'm just waiting, y'all. I'm just waiting, and I'm nervous. And I'm telling my sister, like, girl, I'm nervous. And my little cousins, they just like playing in my makeup and playing with my in my clothes and my fur jackets. Like, they just doing them, and they just in my room just chilling with me. So I'm just talking to my sister, and I'm like, girl, what if we go this place, or what if we go here? Like, I'm just like super nervous, but I'm trying to like calm myself down, and my sister is calming me down. Like, that's the person that calms me down. So then he texts me, and he's like, I'm outside. So yeah, y'all, where he would pull up at, I can see like the whole front yard, like from the driveway to the whole like front yard. So I peeked through the side of the window a little bit to try to see, like, oh my God, like what car he in? Because at this time I didn't have no contacts, y'all. So I really couldn't see that good, and I didn't have no glasses either. And if I did have glasses, I wasn't finna wear no glasses on no date. So I kind of like peek out the window a little bit to trying to kind of see like where he at with the lights, like, you know, like his car. So then I'm like, okay. I tell my little cousins, I'll be back, y'all. Y'all know y'all still gonna be up because they would stay up all night. So I'm like, I'll be back. I'll see y'all when I get back. So y'all, I leave out, lock the door. I go and I'm walking to his car. When I tell y'all I was walking so slow because I did not want to trip and fall. I'm that clumsy person that when I'm walking, I'm going to trip and fall if I'm moving too fast. So I was like, just walk sexy. Don't even try to move too fast, because if you fall, girl, you running back in the house and you're not coming back out. And I'm gonna block this man number. Like, I really was like, I'm gonna block this man number if I fall. So I'm just like walking and stuff, and I walk up to his car. Y'all, why this man pick me up in a Lamborghini? Yes, a Lamborghini. I said that. He came to the hood and pulled up in a Lamborghini. And I was like, oh, and it was them little Lamborghinis, y'all. The ones where it's like little. I don't even know what they, I don't know. But it was a little Lamborghini. And I was just like, I felt like I was that girl. Like, I really felt like the princess of the hood. Like, I did. So as I'm getting in the car, why my little cousins yell out the window, have fun, Ebony. I see you on a date with that boy. And y'all, I was so irritated. Y'all don't understand how embarrassing that was. That was so embarrassing. And I wanted to go back in the house and sock both of them in the head, because why are y'all embarrassing me on a date with some money? Like, why are y'all doing that? Like, he could possibly take me out the hood and this is what y'all do? Like, y'all, I was so irritated. Y'all don't understand. I was so irritated. So I'm like looking through the window. Like, I mean, I'm looking... Before I got in the car, I'm looking like, no, they did not. So I get in the car, and he was like, who is that? And I'm like, they're my little cousins. And he was just like, oh, okay, they so funny. And I'm like, right. He was just like, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing good. He was like, it's nice to finally meet you in person. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And I'm nervous, y'all. Like, I'm really, really nervous. I'm like, I hope I didn't spray too much perfume, but I know I did. I know I did, because I love to smell good. Like, I love to smell good. So I'm just like, dang, hopefully he'll be like, girl, that perfume stank. So I get in the car, all the way in the car. I'm putting on my seatbelt. And he's like, oh, you smell good. And I'm just like, thank you. And I'm like, it's nice to finally see you in person as well. He was like, okay, so where you want to go? So y'all, he drive off. And what was crazy is, like, soon as he drove off the street, he put his hood on. Like, he literally put his hood all the way on. And I was kind of scared at that moment. I'm not going to lie, because it was some things that had happened to him that, you know, it was some beef. So I low-key got scared. So I'm thinking, like, I hope this man is strapped up in here, because why you put your hood on? Can y'all imagine going on a date with somebody you're just meeting for the first time, and y'all drive off and this man puts his hood on? Like, in that moment, I just knew, well, goodbye, family. This is my last day here. Because why did you put your hood on? I still don't, anyways. So we just like driving. He like, okay, so where you want to go eat at? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you could pick a place. I'm not tripping. Like, wherever you pick, we can go. So he was like, all right, let's go to Ruth Chris. And I'm like, okay. At this moment, y'all, I had never been to Ruth Chris ever. But I did see the pictures people would post on Instagram of the little macaroni and cheese, the mashed potatoes, the chicken, the salmon. Like, I would see that. And I'm like, okay, it do look good. So I'm like, all right, I remember what people would post, so I'm going to look for that on the menu. So I'm like, okay, that sounds good. We can go there. He like, have you ever been to Ruth Chris before? And I'm like, yeah, I have. Because you're not about to treat me like as if I ain't never been nowhere, which I haven't. But I'm going to pretend like I have. And I'm like, yeah, I like Ruth Chris. I'm like, it's probably not my favorite, but, you know, I like Ruth Chris. He should have known I was lying right there, because their food is good. So he's like, okay, we can go to Ruth Chris. So he ended up turning up his music and, you know, just like vibing to his music. He was playing like some YG. I remember, because I was just like, okay, And he was a member. He was one of them members. So I was just like, okay. So he's playing the music, and y'all, I am so nervous. Like, when I say nervous, I'm literally like looking out the window, and because I don't know, y'all, when I get nervous, I get to like really like moving my hands a lot. Like, I have to move something, whether it's my feet or my hands. So if y'all see me moving my hands a lot, that'd be why too. So yeah, I'm just like, you know, trying not to move my hands too much. So I'm like wiggling my toes, and I'm like just looking out the window, trying to look cute and stuff. And then I'll like glance at him a little bit with his hood on, and then I'll look back, you know, straight. And I didn't really want to be on my phone too much, because a lot of dudes that you meet for the first time, if you're on your phone too much, they automatically gonna think you like trying to set them up. So I didn't want to be on my phone too much. So I'm just like, you know, looking out the window and stuff, listening to the music, and I'm just like stiff, probably stiff as I don't know what, just sitting there. So then, y'all, we finally get to Ruth Chris. So we get there, and, you know, we park. He get out the car. He comes. He opens my door. I get out the car, and, you know, and I'm trying to get out, you know, not too crazy, because the car was really, really low. Like, it was super low. So I'm getting out, like, trying to get out super cute. He, like, grabs my hand and stuff, and he was like, can I have a hug? And I give him a hug, because I'm like, yes, you can have a hug with your fine self. You sure can. So I give him a hug, and then we proceed to walk into Ruth Chris. So we go into Ruth Chris, and I'm like looking around, because I'm like, oh, what am I going to eat, to where when I'm eating it, I'm not looking crazy, because y'all, I'm that person, like, if I'm on a date, I'm going to eat super slow. I'm not about to eat like how I normally would be eating, because I really feel like I be eating like Garfield. Like, I really feel like I be tearing it up, like really just like tearing food down. So I'm like, okay, be calm, be cool, be collective. Just be yourself. It's okay. So, you know, we wait, and then we go to, they seat us to a table, and we just like looking at the menu. So I'm looking for, you know, like something that I can eat that I could just like, you know, kind of eat like slow, and it won't look too crazy. So I ended up getting some salmon. So I got some salmon and mashed potatoes, and then he ordered like the stuff that he ordered, and we just was like sitting there. So y'all, I'm nervous as hell, and I don't like when people stare me in my face. It makes me super nervous, and he was staring me dead in my face. Like, that man was staring me so deep in my face. It didn't make no sense. Like, it really just didn't make no sense at all. And I'm like looking away and like doing like this and like staring at him back. But it's like, sir, why are you staring at my face and you ain't saying anything? Like, what? Like, what's going on? So then we kind of started talking a little bit. But for the most part, we wasn't really talking much. But we did kind of talk. So our food comes. The food looked good. It smelled good. I'm eating my food, y'all. I'm eating it so slow. Like, I'm literally picking at my salmon, and I'm like eating it so slow. I'm chewing every little piece till it was disintegrating in my mouth. Like, I'm literally chewing it so slow. And we just like talking about different stuff. And he basically was asking me like, oh, where I picked you up from, do you know such and such and such? And he mentioned my cousin. I'm like, yeah, that's my cousin. He like, for real, that's your cousin? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, that's my homies. And I'm like, oh, he was like, before I came down to your, like, where you lived at, he was like, I was down there talking to them. I'm like, yeah, those my cousins. And he's like, oh, them like your blood cousins? I'm like, yeah, them my blood cousins. And he's like, oh, okay. And we just like talking about stuff, like what you be doing on a daily, like what your, you know, like what your life consists of. But I'm not asking him like how you get your money. Do you spend it on females? Are you a trick, or you be, you know, like, do you be tricking or you be spending? Like, I'm not asking him no questions like that. I'm just basically just like asking him questions too, to where like it don't seem awkward, but it's like I did just meet him, and you know. So yeah, we just sitting at the table, and we're just like eating our food. And it was like a little bit of small talk, but yeah. So then the bill comes, he pays and stuff, asked me if I wanted dessert. I'm just like, no, I'm fine, you know. So he was just like, okay, well, what do you want to do now? And I'm like, it's up to you. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I'm just, you know, just chilling with you. So whatever you got planned, that's fine with me. So he was like, all right, we're going to just like hit some corners or something. So I'm like, okay. So then we go back to the car. He opens the door for me. I get back in the car. He get in the car. We drive off. So he's just like talking to me, saying like little things like, oh, you're so beautiful. Why are you single? I saw that you was posting somebody like a couple months ago, but like, you know, like, why are you single? And I basically just told him like, because dudes be playing too much. Like, every time when I do get out of a relationship, I never pretty much tell nobody what the last person did. I just tell them like, you know, these men be having their own hidden agendas. That's all that I pretty much say until I get to know you and I feel comfortable to tell you like my business. So he was just like, oh, dang. And I'm like, well, why are you single? And he was like, same, like, you know, the same reason. Females, they be on other type of timing, and I just don't have time for it. So I'm just like, oh, okay, understandable. I get it. So then he pulls him out a blunt and he lights it, and he was like, you smoke? And at that moment, although I do smoke, I still said no, because I don't want, like, I wasn't the type to smoke and drink with guys, because I don't know. I just always just felt like if I'm going to be in somebody's presence, I want to be just like my sober self. I don't want to smoke in front of them. And at this time I didn't drink. So I was just like, yeah, no, I don't smoke. He was just like, oh, okay. So he just like smoking. And I'm just like looking at him, y'all. He looked so sexy driving that Lamborghini. Like, he looked so sexy just smoking and driving. It's something about a hood ninja smoking and driving. Like, it's just like a turn on. So I'm just like looking at him like, oh, like, I want to take a picture of you doing this and put it on my Instagram. Like, oh, you look good. Like, the world needs to know that I'm with you right now. So we just like driving around. So then he was just like, you want to go back to my house? And I thought about it for a minute, and I'm like, yeah. He was like, we could watch a movie. I got snacks and stuff. We could just like chill. Like, I'm not trying to be on nothing like that, but we could just like chill. He was like, I got a loft. So I'm like, okay. And then he lived in like Manhattan Beach. So he was just like, yeah, I live in Manhattan Beach, and it's cool, it's chill. You ain't got to worry about nothing like that. I don't have no girlfriend, no woman lives in my house, no nothing like that. Like, it's just chill. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then we're driving towards this house. And I'm just like looking around just in case I got to remember where I'm going, you know? Like, I'm just looking around because, y'all, I have a memory that's crazy. Like, you could take me somewhere one time and I'm going to remember where I'm at. So I'm just like looking around, remembering where I'm at, and then we get to his house. When we get to his house, he lived in like a gated community. It was super nice. Like, it was beautiful, y'all. It was beautiful. So you drive in, and then I don't know, maybe it was another way around that you could go through a front door, but we basically went through a garage. Like, he drove into the garage and then closed the garage, opened the door for me. I got out the car, and then we went through a door. It was a big garage. We went through the door, and like, it was like the lower half of the house. So right when you walk in, it's a hallway, and then it's like the kitchen. So how the kitchen was, like, over on the other side, you could see the whole living room. It was a big old living room with tall curtains. Like, it was beautiful. A big old giant TV on the wall, a fireplace. Like, it was beautiful. I was like, now this is nice. Like, this whew, this looks good. So I'm just like looking around like, this is nice. And I was like, oh my God, your place is so nice. And he was just like, thank you, baby. So then he was like, you can sit anywhere. So then I just sat down on the couch, and y'all, I'm just sitting there like, I'm not even sitting with my back all the way against the couch. I'm just like sitting on the edge of the couch like this, like looking around, because it was so nice. Like, it was really, really nice. Like, one of them houses in a movie. Like, it looked so beautiful. So I'm just like looking around, and he was just like, you want to watch anything? Like, what do you want to watch? And I was like, you can make a movie, because y'all, I'm really like one of them girls where it's just like, stop asking me. You just go ahead, just pick something. So then he ended up picking like this show. And it's crazy because when we watched this show, it was like a family member had died, and his same family member had died, like, I want to say a month before, you know, we linked. So it was kind of like, I don't know, it was weird. But anyways, so then I sit on the couch. He brings like a little blanket, like a throw blanket, and then he gets comfortable. He sits on the couch, and he was just like, come here, like, sit close to me. So I'm like sitting close to him, and he like got his arm, and the way his couch was so big to where it was like I was sitting in between his legs. Like, how can I explain it? Like, he was behind me with his legs open, and I was sitting like in between his legs. Like, he had me like from the back, so he like pulled me closer to him like that, and then like put the blanket over us. It was like a show that they turned into a movie. I don't know, it's so weird because they ended up changing the beginning. It's so weird because I seen that movie again, and it wasn't like how I seen it with him. It was crazy. So we just sitting there watching the movie, and we just like laughing, kikiing and stuff, and just like chilling. He was just like, you want some water or you want some snacks? And I was like, no, I'm fine. He was like, you sure? And I'm like, well, I'll take a bottle of water. So then he ended up getting up, going to go get some water, brought him back a Capri Sun, gave me the water, and I'm like drinking the water a little bit. And then I ended up setting the water down, and he was just like tearing his Capri Sun up like he ain't never drank nothing in his life. So then we get back comfortable again. So I'm just like chilling in between his legs again, and he's just like holding me. So we just like watching the movie, and we just cracking up because the movie was so funny. Like, it really was so funny. Even on that part where the family member had died, it kind of like made me feel a little sad for him because I'm just like, you know, I know you still healing for that. So I kind of felt like it was a little awkward after that. Like, it was a little strange. I ain't gonna lie, because I kind of just, I don't know. I just kind of felt sad for him. But he didn't feel sad. He just was like, just chilling, like as if that part never happened in the movie. So we started just watching it, and then the movie goes off, and he was just like, you want a snack or anything? And I was just like, no, I'm fine. He was like, you sure? He was like, I'm gonna make some popcorn. He was like, because you keep saying you don't want nothing, then I ask you again, and then you be like, yeah. He was like, so I'm gonna just get some popcorn and just like get a few snacks, and then you just get some when you want some. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just sitting there, and I was like, you know what? This is a good time for me to text my sister. So I'm just like, girl, I'm still at Ty. Like, I came to Tyre's house, and she was like, girl, what y'all doing? I'm like, nothing. We just like watching a movie and stuff. He's making some popcorn and getting some snacks. And she was just like, oh, okay, girl, like, have fun. I'm like, girl, yeah. Like, he's cool. He's a vibe. Like, he's really cool. He ain't on nothing weird. Like, he's really chill. So she was like, oh, okay. So then he come back with the popcorn, come back with the snacks and stuff. And then he ended up sitting everything down on the table. And he was just like, yeah, just like get something, get some, you know, whatever you want. Just get some. And yeah, we can continue. We could watch another movie. So then he ended up putting another movie on. So while the movie was playing, he had whispered something in my ear. And he was just like, you fine as, like you really fine. And I was like, thank you, you know? Because I'm like, okay, he's romantic. Like, I like him. So y'all, while we're sitting there just watching the movie, he randomly was just like, is Simone your real sister? And I was like, yeah, that's my real sister. He was like real sister? I'm like, yes, that's my real sister. I'm like, you know that house you just picked me up from? That's our grandparents' house. Like, that's my real sister. And he was just like, oh, okay. And then we proceeded to, like, he pushed play on the movie, and we just, like, kept watching the movie. And I didn't really, like, it didn't register in my head. Like, it really didn't register in my head. I just thought that he was just asking, like, you know, like, is that your real sister? Because it was a situation that kind of, like, I don't know. It was a situation that had happened. It wasn't, like, bad or anything, but it was, like, a situation that had happened. And I think my sister kind of felt like he didn't like her, you know, or something like that. I don't know. I don't remember. But so yeah, so it really didn't register in my head, like, why he was asking me that. I just kind of just, like, you know, like, answered it and just kept watching the movie. And that was pretty much the only thing that he pretty much said to me, like, while the movie was playing. Other than that, we just sat and really just watched the movie. So an hour go by, that movie ends. And when that movie ends, he gets up and he was just like, okay, like, you want to watch something else? Like, what you want to do? Because we're going to be watching movies all night, because I'll be picking some good movies. And I'm like, no, you're good. Like, I'm not tripping. I'm like, I don't got nothing to do tonight, so watching the movies is fine with me. I'm like, I would be doing the same thing if I was at home. So he was just like, okay. So then he gets up and he goes into the refrigerator. He was just like, do you drink? And I was like, no, I don't drink. He was like, for real? He was like, okay, so do you mind if I, like, take a little shot or something? Like, I just need, like, a little shot. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Like, I ain't tripping. I was like, but I don't drink though. So he takes a shot of, like, some Remy. And I'm just, like, looking at him like, please don't start acting crazy after you drink. Like, please don't, please stay the same. Because people be acting crazy after they drink. So when he come back over there, he, like, grabbed my leg. And he, like, you know, caressed my thigh a little bit, then he squeezed it a little bit. And he was just like, you so sexy. And I was like, thank you. And I already knew, like, after he said that, I already knew that he was about to say some out of pocket something, or he was about to, I just knew it was about to be something, right? So he was just like, damn, like, I really want to just, you know, like, I'll tear your little self up. And I'm looking at him and I'm, like, smiling, but I'm kind of like, you know, like, probably like one of them awkward smiles, like, oh, okay. So he was just like, come here. And he comes closer to me. I scooted over a little bit. He came closer to me. He was just like, your lips, like, you look like you give some fire head. And I stopped and I was just like, yeah, to my man, like, to my, like, you know, I get fire head to my man. So he was just like, dang, like, what I got to do to be yours? Like, what I got to do to be your man? And I'm looking at him like, you didn't already messed up, because now I don't even want you to be my man no more, because you didn't make this awkward, you didn't make this weird. First he asked me if I wanted to have, and I was just like, no, like, I'm not trying to be on nothing like that. I'm like, this is our first date. I don't want to just give you what I got on our first date thing. You know, like, I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not trying to be like that. He was like, well, then you got some nice lips. Like, can I have some head? And y'all don't understand. I was looking at him in disbelief. Like, bro, how you turn a good night into a horror? Like, why? Why would you do that? You trying to turn this night into a horrible night. Like, why would you do that? So I'm just looking at him, and he's, like, grabbing himself. He was like, come on, like, you can do it. Like, it's cool. Like, just touch it. Just touch it. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I touched it. Don't know why I did, but I did. Like, I touched it. Like, I don't know. I was so... But anyways, I touched it. And he was like, you don't want to suck it? And I was just like, no, I don't. Like, no. He's like, I'll put a fruit roll up on it. And I don't know why. I was just, like, looking at him. And he got up and he went to go get a fruit roll up. Y'all, when this man came back, he came back with a fruit roll-up wrapped around his thing. Like, he had it wrapped around, and it was hard, and it was really, really big. And he was just like, you don't want to lick it? He was like, just lick it. Just lick it one time. Like, just lick it. And I'm just sitting there staring at it, because I'm like, first of all, why is this so freakishly large? And then second of all, like, you really wrapped the fruit roll-up on it? Like, you really did that? So he, like, came closer to me, and I don't know why, y'all, I licked it. Like, I really, like, I licked the fruit roll up. And yeah, I licked the fruit roll up, y'all. And a part of me is probably because it was a fruit roll up and I really like fruit roll ups. But I just kind of like licked it a little bit and then I stopped. Like, I wasn't finna just like go full on and just suck it, but I did lick it. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. And then I just like stopped and I was like, yeah, no, like, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm not trying to, like, no. And it wasn't like it was forcing me to do it. Like, he did kind of like say, like, you know, like, just lick it, just lick it. But I did something that I did lick it. But it wasn't like he had something up to my head, like, you better lick it right now. Like, I did kind of want to lick it. Like, I did. So then I was like, no, like, it's okay. Like, I don't want to lick you with a fruit roll up on you. So he was just like, okay, like, it's cool. And then he took the fruit roll up off and then he went to go get something to wipe himself off. So when he came back in, he ended up putting another movie on and we were just like sitting there watching a movie. Y'all, that was the most awkwardest moment of my life. Like, we just sitting there watching it, but it was so awkward because then he didn't want to hold me no more. Like, it wasn't like he was holding me, but he was super close on me. But he wasn't holding me like he was in the previous movies, but he was super close on me. And I feel like he felt like it was awkward too. So, like, the movie didn't even end and he was just like, yeah, it's getting late. And I was like, it is. Like, it's getting really late. He was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just get you home. And I was like, okay. And I had no problem with that because I'm just like, bro, you came out here with a whole fruit roll-up wrapped around your man down there. And I just don't understand why. Like, why? And then in the back of my head, I'm like, did I really just lick this man with a fruit roll-up on it? Like, did I really just do that? So I'm just sitting there like, bruh, I really just licked this man with a fruit roll-up on it. So I'm grabbing like my purse and stuff and grabbing my shoes to put them on. And he just like turned on all the lights in the house. Now it's all bright in there. Like, I could tell he was like mad, but I didn't care because it's like, dude, this is our first date. Like, this is our first date. Not saying I ain't never did nothing with nobody on the first date, but it's just still like, this is our first date and you didn't ruin it. Like, maybe on the second day we could have got some, we could have did something, you know? Like, we probably wouldn't have got it like super like popping, but you know, we could have did a little something or I don't know, probably would have let you kiss. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But anyways, so we go back into the car and y'all, this time he's driving crazy. Like, I swear, when I got in the car with him the first time, he wasn't driving it like it was a Lamborghini. He was driving it like it was a Honda. Now he's driving it like it's a Lamborghini. Like, this man is driving crazy and I don't like people that drive crazy. So now I'm irritated and I'm like, I'm never linking with this man again. Like, he ain't got to worry about seeing my face because he's not. So I'm like low-key irritated, but I'm just like, it's cool. You gonna get home safely. Don't even trip. Say your little prayer and you gonna get home safely. So he finally ended up back on my block. And then I was just like, all right, you know, like, thank you for the date. I had a good time. He was like, I had a good time too. So then he got out the car. He's like, I'm gonna give you a hug. He got out the car. He gave me a hug, got back in the car and drove off. He didn't even wait till I got to the door. He drove off and I wasn't tripping because, like I said, this is the hood that I grew up in. I was not tripping at all. So I was just like, dang, he was mad. So I go back in the house. My little cousins, they were still awake. And they was like, how was your day? And I'm like, it was cool. They was like, did you bring me something? I'm like, no, I didn't bring y'all nothing. Like, no, like, go to bed. Why y'all still woke? So I ended up just getting in the shower, wiping off my makeup, doing my little skincare. And then I ended up getting in the bed. And I told my sister, but she was like super, super late. So I ended up texting my sister and I'm just like, girl, Tyre is weird. Like, so weird. In the morning when you wake up, call me. So I scrolled on Instagram and then I ended up falling asleep. So I woke up the next morning. My sister calling my phone and she was like, girl, how was your date? And I'm like, girl. So we went to Ruth Chris. We had a good time. I'm like, we were just like talking a little bit. Like, it was cool. Like, it was all good. I'm like, we get to his house. I'm like, we hit a few corners. Then we ended up going to his house. I'm like, and that's when all hell broke loose. I'm like, he was cool, and then it just went weird. I'm like, we watched like 2.5 movies. Then all of a sudden, this man wanted to do some things to me, and then he wanted me to give him some head. She was like, did you do it? I'm like, girl, he came back with a fruit roll-up wrapped around it, and I licked it. You know I like fruit roll-ups. She was like, you licked it with a fruit roll-up on it. I'm like, I did lick it with a fruit roll-up on it. I'm like, but I didn't suck it. I just like licked on it a little bit, like just a little bit on the tip. And she like, girl, what? I'm like, I know, I really like fruit roll-ups, but yeah. And she's like, and then what happened? So I'm just basically telling her what happened. I'm like, I think he got mad after that. I'm like, we watched a little bit of the movie, but then he was just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get you home. I said, then he started driving crazy. I'm like, he started driving crazy as I don't know what. I'm like, but I did get home safely, but he started driving crazy. Like, he was so mad. So she was like, girl, what? I'm like, yes. So I'm like, he ain't gotta worry about it though. I ain't never gonna see him again. Like, he do not have to worry about me seeing him ever again. So she was just like, dang, that's crazy. So we were still just like talking. And then I get a text message from Tyre. And he was just like, I had so much fun with you. Like, I'm sorry that I asked you to, you know, lick and do all that. He was like, but you just so sexy. Like, I just couldn't help myself. Like, you really look good. And I'm just like, okay. Like, okay. And I was just like, it's cool, like, it's good. And then he had text something back, but I didn't even text him back. So I'm like, I'm not even finna play with this man. I don't want to see him again. Like, and it wasn't even about the fruit roller thing. It's just the whole point of him getting mad about that. And then it just made me feel like, you probably just wanted me for one thing. You thought that you was gonna take me out to eat and I was just gonna give it up to you, or whatever the case may be. I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't want to, I don't want to deal with nobody like that. So I was just like, yeah, he ain't gotta worry about that. So yeah, y'all, that was the story of me and Tyre. But it don't end there. It does not end there. Y'all, why he was in my sister's DM not too long after that? He was in my sister's DM telling her, like, oh, I always liked you, and da-da-da-da, like, expressing himself, like, pouring his heart out to my sister. And I know my sister probably was like, no, this nigga didn't. Like, you just was on a date with my sister. Like, are you serious right now? And it was just so weird, because I'm just like, he know that is my real sister. Like, he asked me that when I was at his house. And we had a whole conversation. I'm like, yes, that's my baby sister. I'm the oldest. Like, what? Like, that's really my sister. I'm not joking. It's not a game. It's not for fun. It's not for fake. Like, that's really my sister. Like, bro, you're weird. And I was so irritated. And as bad as I wanted to cuss him out and just, like, really just go off on him, I didn't say nothing, because I'm just like, oh yeah, he's weird. But I'm like, it makes sense. He really asked me. Like, he dead asked me, and it came out of nowhere. Like, it was so random. It was super random. So I'm just like, no, this man didn't. But this ain't the first time, like, dudes really tried to play like that. Like, it wasn't the first time, but I was just like, oh no, this man did it. No, he didn't, y'all. But yeah, y'all, I never spoke to him again. We were still following each other on Instagram. He was still like up my pictures and comment on them a little bit. But then his Instagram had got deleted, or he deleted it, and then he had made a new one. And then he came to follow me. I didn't follow him back, so then he completely just unfollowed me. And I was just like, I don't care. Like, I do not care. Like, you're a weird boy. But yeah, y'all, that is how I licked. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, y'all, that is the ending of this story time. I hope y'all enjoyed this story time. I love y'all so much. All right, y'all. Bye.